LFA, Mr. Glass Half Full, the revival.
Oh, that'll get your blood boiling. I don't know what else will. Peace and blessings. It is your boy, Eli Rax, aka Vibes, and welcome to New York Revival, where it's not just sports, it's entertainment. And I'm here with my brothers, man. You guys know who this is, and that's Mr. Glass Half Full, and that's Spee if you nasty now.
Let's go, boys.
And I'm here with my brother El Jefe, aka White Jersey, aka Blue Jersey, aka Damon Daniel. And shout out to you. Yes, you, the revivalists in the chat. Hit that thumbs up, share, and subscribe. We do appreciate all the support, guys. And we're going to have a nice little special announcement, too, at the end. And we might have something for Black Friday for you guys, just to let you know.
Hey.
Oh, yeah, we've been talking, little Hef. Hef didn't show up to this meeting. He was busy, but we got this coming. Hef. We got you. Don't worry, man. But let's go around the room. It is Thanksgiving week, and I just want to start this off a little bit different. Guys, get in the chat as well, because we want to know. I just want to start with Mr. Glass Half Full here, man. Do you have any Thanksgiving traditions? And what is your favorite dish on Thanksgiving, brother?
Oh man, this is loaded questions here.
Loaded. You gotta start off right.
I gotta be honest. Thanksgiving, Mr. Glass Half Full's favorite holiday. No joke. It's my favorite holiday. Just eating, football, family, drinking, the whole nine. We do Thanksgiving at our house. We host. So my favorite tradition, though, which is not actually on Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving Eve. Me and we have a nice little drink-a-thon, essentially. Beer game, drinking games. We get after it all night long.
I gotta go there.
Who
calls it a drink? Is that the name of it, or did you just say that?
I just labeled it right now.
So you just said drink-a-thon. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. We start. We get after it. And then my favorite dish has to be stuffing. My wife makes a phenomenal stuffing. I gotta be honest, it's top notch for me. 1B would be my candied yams. Candied yams is my second favorite. That's my 1-2. And I don't know, man. The stuffing is unrivaled. My wife, God bless her, you're the best, honey. Makes the best stuffing.
Is she listening? Is that
she's out there? She's out there. Hey.
Would your wife say that you also give her good stuffing?
Oh, well, now you know what?
Is that inappropriate? Let's rewind.
She chuckled. She chuckled. She's like, I don't know if that's like a good chuckle or a bad chuckle. I don't know yet.
She's gonna text my wife right now. These sick bastards. What is wrong with you guys?
That's so funny.
All right, what do you got? E. Oh, okay. Yeah,
I'll go with Hef. I'm last.
What's your tradition, bro?
I got a good one.
Oh,
so,
okay.
I'm a pilgrim, right? And this is a big deal. This is my holiday. This is my favorite holiday by far. Spiro nailed it with the stuffing too, so I'll just get that out of the way. Stuffing is the elite Thanksgiving dish. It can't be touched. And the tradition in my family is a rich one, a little bit weird. But it started
weird.
It started when I was 3 or 4 years old. My grandfather would take the extra turkey, whatever was left from the day before, and there would just be like 7 of us, right? Like my family and my grandparents. And he'd go to the store, get like onion, celery, and he'd make some turkey salad for whatever was left. So him doing that by himself and then making a couple sandwiches for everyone the next day has turned into like 15 plus people getting together the day after Thanksgiving every single year. Cooking new turkey, getting like just the giant tub of it, and you just drink all day and it's an excuse to get together and drink, right? For like my cousins that I don't get to see on Thanksgiving anymore. So we always reserve the day after, and we do that every single year, and it's such a good time. And
love that.
It's like I don't know of anyone else that does that. That's why I like it too. It's kind of
that's dope.
Kind of a different thing.
That's fire, man. That's fire. What's your favorite go-to dish, my brother? You said the stuffing. You got that out the way. That's it.
And it's got to be crispy on the top.
Yes, nice little crisp.
Like when it's done cooking, I'm like, all right, everyone, get yours out. I'm gonna broil mine for like 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I need everything with a crisp on it. That's how I'm at.
I like it.
Nice. I like that a lot, man. For me, my tradition is something that My wife recently started, not recently, but we've been doing it since our kids were born. And just to let you know, man, I got a 16 and a 14-year-old. So, guys, I started a little bit early here. They're old,
You
So,
dog.
exactly,
You
I got after it.
dog.
I got after it, right? But, we started a tradition of making our own tablecloths. How do you do that? We get a nice little white tablecloth from Party City, and we draw on it. We draw,
Nice.
I love you, great things for the year that we wish for each other, what we're thankful for. And we do this kind of every year as a cool tradition, man. Just to kind of give us that positive, good, upbeat. And plus to see, my daughter's got a nice little accepted into high school for art program. So she could draw extremely well.
Nice.
So we get to see, her craft something pretty cool. And we're all drawing stick figures while she drew like a big elegant something crazy. So it's pretty cool, man, that we do that every single year. And we'll be doing that again this year. And we'll be having some fun with it, man. So
I like that tradition.
that's a big tradition. But guys, I love to eat. On the
What's
contrary
the
of
dish
what my brothers tell me, they're like, "You're so shredded." No, if I take off this shirt, man, it's fat here, all right? But it's greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes,
I'm calling straight bullshit. I'm calling straight bullshit on that one. You give Eli like a bro hug. It's like hugging a piece of iron.
Right. He's just
like
solid.
Fucking hard. Yeah.
They're so lying, by the way. Now, just to let you know, guys, there's pictures out there, guys. I ain't strong at all. Let's make this clear. But guys, I like some mac and cheese. I like some collard greens. I'm black, if you didn't notice, right, guys? I'm black as they come. All right, so that's shocking, right?
I don't
so
believe
I love my greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, you name it challenge. I like it all on that list, all right? And the damn sure I'm definitely gonna make it all this year too. But that's what I love, man. Anything with mac, cheese, potatoes, I'm there. Candy yams. Oh man, I'll take it all, man. For real. Cornbread, boss.
I smell it right now. Like the wife's got started cooking already, and the fragrances are just coming in from the kitchen. And it's just like, I bask in that shit, man. This is my time of the year. I bask in it.
Wouldn't it have been funny if Spiro just started going off and Spiro was like, I like collard greens. I love the cornbread.
He might be black. I'm black at heart, dude. I love all that shit, dude. I mean, I love all that shit.
I'm telling you right now, I'm coming to one of y'all houses next year. This is my last time cooking. I'm coming to one of y'all houses. That's how we're gonna do it.
Welcome.
All right, we're gonna make this happen. And guys, what is your favorite dish and what is your tradition? Put it in the chat now. We'll highlight it, of course. But guys, let's move on just a tad bit here. And of course, we'll come back to your comments once you put it in there. But let's go around the NFL, man. Of course, we got the Kansas City Chiefs, the Philadelphia Eagles. What a game that was, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. I turned that game off, I think, in the second quarter because I was like, oh, Philly's gonna lose. But I'm gonna tell you this, man, and I want to get y'all opinion on this. I'm officially afraid of the Philadelphia Eagles winning it all. After watching them, I thought Kansas City had their way with them the first couple of quarters. You know what I mean? But I'll tell you, they came back and won this game. I'm officially afraid that this NFC East, this team is going to bring home the trophy and we're going to hit more bullshit. How you feeling there, Hefe, man, especially about that game? What a game. What a game.
Yeah, I caught most of that game, and I was looking forward to it. Figured it would be a good matchup, right? Super Bowl rematch. The Eagles are just – they have very little weaknesses, if any. Like, if you want to say their secondary is their weakness, but they almost hide it somehow. Like, I don't know. If Patrick Mahomes couldn't light you up, then it's not that easy to do, I guess. I don't know. like if their secondary was that bad, but they're just so well-rounded with studs on every level. There was one play, and I'm so envious of their offensive line because I just can't imagine what it's like to watch your team operate with fucking Hall of Famers like across the whole line. And they're just always available. Like these Giants,
I know they're always
players drop like flies constantly, especially on the O-line. And for some reason, these guys, like, who's going to show up week in and week out. But they had one play where Jason Kelce.
Oh my God!
You see that play where he's pulling?
Oh,
he just from the center position pulls to the left, and he gets out with a full head of steam, and he just paves the road. And this guy, I'm telling you, like, he would smoke me in a race, and he's 3 times the size of me. Like, it's scary. It's scary how athletic he is, and it's just little things like that like make them so good. Because
O-line porn. It was O-line porn for like people that are into that kind of stuff. Now he put on a clinic. He put on a fucking clinic.
Or for people who are O-line insecure, like we are. Like we just watched that.
Yes, right. Like, that's what it's like.
That's imagine.
We used to be that team. We used to have those
Yeah.
guys. And
I'll let you guys go on.
I'm
'cause there's
highly
obviously
upset.
a big play at the end of that game, which obviously like changed.
oh,
the whole outcome. I didn't
MVS,
get to-
bro. Come on, man.
Yes,
Like,
Fee.
no, I mean, listen, there was 2 drop bombs. There's MVS and Quentin Johnson from the Chargers in that Charger game that just dropped. These guys, man, they're so athletic and they're so long, but they can't catch a simple fucking deep pass to save their life, man. And it cost both their teams games and long touchdown passes. Me personally, I was playing somebody who had Patrick Mahomes in fantasy, so I breathed a very big sigh of relief because that was that would have put them over. That was it. That would have put them over the edge. And I was like, all right, but like
you were
the Eagles.
Oh.
Yeah.
While that ball is in the air, it's like, do I want the Eagles or do I want my?
Yeah. I mean, listen, the Eagles are so far gone. I don't even worry about them anymore.
That ship has sailed.
But it's so funny because like even Eagles fans, they hate 90% of their games, and then somehow at the end of the game, you just look up and they're winning every game. Like it's just it's wild. It's wild. They're not playing great ball, but they just get it done.
That's what a lot of people are saying. Oh, the Eagles are frauds. No, they're not. They're just that good that they win ugly. Imagine how good you are to not. They still haven't played their best at all.
And they put a tough schedule too.
Yep.
So we gotta give them.
Yes.
True.
Yes.
But that
shows they're for real. Because
Yeah.
don't forget, like last year, right, guys? They were saying like, they had such a soft schedule, just like the Giants. Is the reason why. No, the Philadelphia Eagles they're the truth right now. They're 9-1. I'm afraid of them. I'm afraid of them for the next 10 years if we ever get this right. You know what I mean? And if they win one, we'll never hit the end of it. We never hit a freaking end of it. I'm telling you, it can happen.
Let's talk about another NFC favorite that is again a little under the radar, not so much anymore, but the Cardiac Lions, man, the Detroit Lions, fun as shit to watch. They're always in like a 30-plus point scoring game. They're down 12 points to the Bears late, come back 3 straight scores, man. Like it was unbelievable watching this team. Like they're a young team coming together and making themselves a contender. They're 8-2, sitting 1 game out for top seed at NFC. Who would have had that? Like, who would have had? I mean, I know a lot of people like them, but like they are actually matching what the hype was at the beginning of the season. And like the Jameson Williams is just starting to come on for their offense. Jahmyr Gibbs, they're amazing rookies, just starting to explode onto the scene. Sam Laporta, another rookie. Like they got young guys everywhere, dude. Their offensive line is stacked. Mm-hmm. If their defense, Goff just has to like, keep the Ferrari going straight, and their defense, if they ever get going, they're a fucking problem, bro. They're a problem.
If your favorite team is not in their division, they're very easy to root for.
Yes.
You got Goff, who was just tossed away from the Rams, and like you can imagine how he felt being the second fiddle and watching that team win a Super Bowl as they tossed you away. That's tough for a man to just watch that. I'm sure he was like counting his money. He wasn't that sad.
Right. He's gonna be all right.
But like everyone's freaking out in the beginning of the year because Montgomery's getting all the looks and Gibbs wasn't getting touches. It's like, calm down. This is a beautiful plan.
They told you what they were going to do. They're like, we're saving him
and
for later this season.
Monty's been great this year.
I know.
They're a two-headed monster, and you were saving him and letting him learn. So give him a few touches and build him up slowly. Why would you just throw him right in? There's no upside.
This is
when you have
this
a good
is what
veteran back.
This is what developing players looks like. This is what the developing players the right way looks like. And Dan Campbell's got them fucking running through walls, bro. Former Giant, by the way. Former Giant, Dan Campbell. He's just, at first I was just like, he's such a meathead. I don't know if he's going to actually be a great coach, but he's such a good, he's such a good inspiration for his team and motivator. Yeah. And it helps their offensive coordinator is a genius. So
tell me this Detroit team don't remind you of like the Giants in like 07. You know what I mean? Like they're just that scrappy, that team that's just gonna get it done. There's a bunch of misfits on there, a bunch of young players, and they just remind you so much of that. I would not be surprised if they do take it all away. I won't be surprised.
They're gonna be a problem for a while.
I think so, man. And like you said, man, Dan Campbell just coaches these guys up so much that you can just see, like, it's not about the most explosive talent like the Philadelphia Eagles, right? This team is just a very well coached, disciplined, all together, all in one type of team, and I love to see that. I really do hope they do make it, man. At least beat the Eagles. You know what I mean? At least going to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? But just watching that team, you just can't help but go, man, this is reminiscent to what we've seen before historically. They're a problem, and they're gonna be a problem for many years to come.
Yeah, as good as their running game is, I mean, St. Brown is having an absolute.
I didn't even mention him.
Elite season. Right. Like he's an alpha dog. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He's one of those dudes that will name you every single receiver that was drafted before him, and he just knows it like top of his head, like that. He's that kind of guy. We got it real quick before we move on. We got a couple of things. It's time for the Weekly Precious.
The Weekly Precious. Shout out to you, Press. I love you. Thank you so much. Favorite dish, mac and cheese.
Baked mac and cheese.
Nice.
Can't go wrong with that.
Does that make it crispy? Does it make it a little extra crispy for you?
All right. So, by the way, I have to say it, guys. I have to say it because it just makes sense. And I'm really not the type of person to do this. But before we got on the show, everybody was like, hey, we got to get to know each other more. So I'm going to let the viewers know me a little more. That is my sister in real life, my blood sister.
Real life sister.
And she does make a damn good mac and cheese. Shout out to
you.
He
can confirm. He can confirm.
So I can confirm.
So it's the favorite dish. Is her favorite dish her own baked mac and cheese? It's that good.
So she's in herself. So I would say that. I would say, yes, it is. She's into herself. That would definitely be it. You know what I mean? And what's the tradition, man? The thankful tree? What the hell you make that from? I gotta remember that one.
It's a fake leaf. You never heard of the thankful tree, bro? It's a fake leaf, and everyone writes what they're thankful for.
Yes. Is that something she does? By the way, she's a teacher. Shout out to her. That's something she does in her school, man. But it's not tradition. It's not tradition how we grew up, Fresh.
And who's better? Who's better than this guy? The
Paisano.
Tuto's living his best life with Danny DeVito coming out, man. Like he's just living it.
Happier than Tuto with what's going on with the Giants right now, huh? Tuto, tell us what you think about DeVito.
Massive salutes and respects to our fam, diehard fans, Giant fans. Congrats to destroying all the wishy-washies. And we say, forget about it. Forget about it.
Paisano. Paisano. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you for the super. Cheers.
So since we're talking Italian, we're talking DeVito. Do you guys want to get into some Giants talk, some DeVito talk here?
Before we get into DeVito, can we just talk about Zach Wilson real quick?
Sorry, you're right. Absolutely. Get into it.
I think we're going to get right into the Giants. But guys, I just want to say, man, you're looking at the Jets, and the Jets during the offseason were probably the favorites to go to the Super Bowl, right? With Aaron Rodgers, etc. Fortunately, it didn't happen. We got Zach Wilson coming in, and we're like, man, just give him time. It looked like he could do great. But, guys, guess what? He's headed to the bench. He is done. The Zach Wilson experience in New York Jets, I believe, is done, and I think he might be a journystman quarterback after this because there's no way in hell.
If he's lucky.
If he's lucky. There's no way in hell a team will pick him up after this. But, Spee, I just want to get your thoughts, man. I'll start with you. Zach Wilson headed to the bench, man, and, of course, it's New York Revival. Can't talk about the other cross-town rivals. Is this 2 months too late? Just your thoughts.
I told my Jet fan friends, I was like, we're going to start talking Jets because, like, you're the only team in town that's got a chance. He's like, bullshit, I was like, well, Zach Wilson's got to do something to give us, give you guys a chance. Lo and behold, I mean, listen, we said it from the beginning. The Jets fucked up royally by not getting another quarterback. They ruined their season. They ruined their season by not doing it. Now Zach Wilson's 35 plus starts in. You're not gonna. He's not it. He's not it. The sample size is not small. He has not gotten better. In fact, you might even say he might have gotten worse. He's stumbling over himself to get into the huddle. You saw him in the Bills game. He's falling all over the place. He's taking out his coach.
That was his best play. That was amazing.
How poetic was it when he took out Salah on one of those final plays? And Salah's like, all right, you know what? I had enough.
You're right. That's it.
He's dragging our team down. Now he's trying to take me out.
I've had it with this baby back bitch.
Dude, it's wild. You know what? Tim Boyle comes in and he actually looks decent. He gets Garrett Wilson involved. They're moving the ball a little bit better. You just gotta see what you got with somebody else because the whole team is just now sees it. Everybody's pissed off. So it took way too long. And Joe Douglas and Salah, they had the patience of a saint because I would have pulled him about 6 starts ago. But they tried, they did. He can't say he never was given a shot. and they move on. But it's gonna probably be too late. But you know what? They got Aaron Rodgers dangling that little carrot. He said December 2nd might be back. I don't know.
I like
December
don't know.
2nd? He said
Yeah,
2nd
he
now?
said it. He said 2nd. He's like 2 weeks away, man.
Bro,
That's crazy.
I told you guys before we went live that I wake up with a stiff neck and it takes 10 days to feel better. Aaron Rodgers
I
is
know
also
this
40.
guy.
They're like, what do you think you're doing?
He's got some
What
voodoo
in
shit
3
going on.
months coming back from a
Weird.
torn Achilles? But the Jets are dumb, bro, because they knew coming into this year the reason they went broke for Aaron Rodgers was because they knew they couldn't do anything with Zach Wilson. So you can't go into this season like one play away from
Right.
being right back where
Yeah.
you were. Like you got to move off
With a
of
bad
the guy
offensive
you're-
line, by the way. With a bad
Exactly.
offensive line.
Exactly. Everyone with eyes knew that Zach Wilson was not it, could not do anything. So they messed up. They had a window, with the roster, and they're blowing it. Garrett Wilson is nice, man. He's really good. And you
He's
see the
so
body
good.
language, and this is what got Odell out of Cleveland. You start seeing the tape of dudes wide the fuck open, never getting the ball. And it, things happen after that. People start talking, people start demanding trades. So this is why they're late. And what I wish the Jets would have done is had like a captain's only meeting with the coach and been like, we need a change.
Yeah.
We need something. Like, I don't know how it could go on this long. Saleh may have lost his job because of it if it was up to him, unless the GM was telling him, but the GM could still like cut him after to save his neck. So it sucks. But the Jets fucked up royally.
Here's my big brain conspiracy theory here. They went with Wilson for this long because they know that everybody's coming back, because they have a perfect scapegoat now. They're going to ship him out of town and be like, hey, you know what? We tried with Zach Wilson. Now we're going to do the real plan again. Everybody's coming back except for Zach Wilson. He's out. And then just put it on him. I don't know. What do you think, man?
No, I totally agree, especially with that, man. Those guys got to come back. Unfortunately, man, they went for broke for Aaron Rodgers. You got to give him a year or two to kind of acclimate that. They didn't know he was going to get hurt, right, at the end of the day. So I think they understood, like, okay, listen, we as fans, outside looking in, we were saying, all right, this project's probably going to take 1 or 2 years with Aaron Rodgers to try to win him a chip at this point, right? So I think the coaching staff and the GM and the owner knows, like, all right, you guys have 3 years to figure this out with Aaron Rodgers. Can't get it done, we'll clean house. We'll start from scratch. We'll go from there. But as far as Zach Wilson, man, the experience, it's over, unfortunately, man. I thought the kid had some potential. Thought the kid can actually be well. But just watching him digress, or whatever the hell word I'm looking for, it's just it, man. Like, it's like, and you know what's good about it is that they know and they're willing to move on from it. Unlike another team that's a cross-town rival, but we'll get to that another time on the next topic here. You know what I mean? But you got to know when it's in. You got to go, you know what? It's done. We shot this load. It just isn't it. It's time to move on. And that's something.
This load.
We shot this load. That's it. We shot this load.
Get me a towel.
That's it. And it's time to move on, especially right now. Unfortunately, I think they moved on. It's just Aaron Rodgers got hurt. It's just now you got no choice. You had to put him in until he kind of broke, and he broke. That's it.
Here's the thing.
Try somebody else.
They wasted a championship caliber roster, and especially their defense. That defense is championship caliber, and they blew it. They just blew it. And you can't waste seasons. You can't waste seasons like this.
You can't. But looking at that roster in its totality, there's a lot of people that's going to remain there still, right?
Sure. But you never know with injuries. You never know.
True.
Stuff happens.
True,
so,
Speed. No, I give you that. But at the same time, you got to kind of be like, all right, you got to kind of go with the gamble there. You know, what are you going to do?
Sure.
It's nothing else you can kind of do. Unless they got another journeyman quarterback in there. Got to kind of go with Zach Wilson. Let's see for sure what we have in him, if we can keep him around even as a QB2. And I don't think they can.
Well, he's for sure Dunzo now. He's for sure Dunzo.
It was a reach of a pick. Like, I don't know. It was you talk everyone, because we're going to transition to the Giants, right? Like, everyone wanted the Giants to have a top 2 pick. Granted, this is a different level of quarterbacks everyone thinks they're looking at this year, but it's just proof that you can get it wrong anywhere in the draft, right? With Baker Mayfield not first overall pick, dude's been passed around and having pretty much no success anywhere he goes.
Yeah, right.
So you can get it wrong early and you can get it right later, but I don't think either one is a reason to say we don't need a top draft pick or just go, draft later, because anything could happen. Like, every year is different. So there's no reason to look at the past, because those are different guys. Like, it doesn't mean anything for what's about to happen. Eli, go ahead, buddy. Sorry.
I totally agree, man. And let's transition, of course, guys. You got Tommy. What is it? The passing Paisan
The passing
DeVito.
Paisan.
The passing Paisan, man. 3 touchdowns, a perfect passer rating. In fact, he's nominated for Rookie of the Week, man. Guys, I want to hear
Oh,
Mr. Glass half. No, I'm sorry. With El Jefe here. I want to start with El Jefe this time around, man. How you feeling, man? Tommy DeVito, did it get your plums all nice and tingly, man, watching this guy throw 3
yes.
touchdowns?
Stay out of
Man,
my
talk to
personal
me.
affairs. Thank you.
Talk to me, brother. What you got?
I think at a minimum, it brought some excitement and like some storylines and like, reason to get excited. Like, to be honest, I went into that game not wanting or really like rooting for the Giants to win. Right. But then you see your team fight like that. Your whole life, you're rooting for that logo. And then you see them fight like that. You see them beat a team that they normally, it's so hard not to get pulled back into it. And I was genuinely a little like conflicted with that game, what was going on. But like at the end of the day, I really, really want Dable to stick around.
Yes.
And he's going to need a couple wins to make sure that noise stays quiet. So be it. But with DeVito, I mean, he threw 3 touchdowns. And it's so sad to look around at how few times that has happened in the last several years, right?
Sad.
Like real, and that is telling. And if it's even a conversation about who you signed long term and gave out a lot of money to, if it's even a conversation about production, that is a really, really bad sign. And it pretty much tells you all you need to know. But at a minimum, DeVito, no, he's not a long-term answer. I think he maybe is fighting for, can he be a QB 2 or 3 right now? Can you do you keep him around? Can he be a legit backup? Do you trust him to take over the Tyrod role next year? Like if Daniel Jones is going to be back, can DeVito stick around? Practice squad, elevate him if you need him, and then you're going to draft a guy too. So he could be that third quarterback, and he's earning his job right now. So it was exciting, if nothing else, and he dropped a few dollars out there, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did. He damn sure did. Spee, give us your thoughts, man.
Hey, the Gunslinging Guido gave us a lot of good stuff on Sunday, man. The the storylines are just endless, man. First of all, what a blessing for the Giants in a lost season to get a kid from North Jersey, Bosco, Italian dude, just
nice
so
story.
North Jersey, just 15 minutes away from the stadium, in his mom's basement, still having the chicken parms, making mom just so many good storylines.
Meatloaf.
And he comes in, and I gotta be honest, like he showed some things in the preseason. I'm like, Tommy DeVito, this guy might be a little like he's not gonna be a star, but he could be like a Gardner Minshew type of player where he comes in, he has some magic, he will maybe win you a game or two. He looks competent, right?
It's a good comp. Yeah.
Just a guy that brings a little excitement. Listen, he ran himself into about five of the 9 sacks. He's still getting used to the speed.
Yeah, but that could take 5.5 years, as we've seen, to get a little pocket presence. Sorry, that was
fired.
Low hanging.
It goes to show you, he got sacked. He got sacked 9 times. He still threw for 250, and he still threw for 3 touchdowns. You could still be a serviceable quarterback with this bad offensive line and getting sacked all those times. You could still make things happen. So, granted, it was our little bitch in Washington that we beat, and everybody, doesn't matter if Tyrod's in there, doesn't matter if Daniel Jones is in there, and me and E went on a Washington the Commanders podcast, and we're like, if you're not going to get it now, you're never going to get it. They still can't get it.
What is it? 5-6 turnovers or something like that? Like it's just
6 turnovers. I don't know what it is, but I think, and I said it a couple of games ago, this is a Danny DeVito tryout for QB2, man. Like right now, we're paying Tyrod Taylor $6 million, and granted, Daniel Jones will be on a team here, but like you never know what's going to happen with trades, how healthy he is, and if Danny DeVito could somehow stick around, we keep him on this team, he'd be a great QB2 option that you can throw in there, and maybe win you some games. So I love what I'm seeing out of the guy, man. I love it.
I do like it.
It's same, and not only that it is a much cheaper option, right, than what we have in Tyrod Taylor, right? Because we don't know what the Giants are going to do in the offseason. We don't know if we're going to get a quarterback, or we don't know if Daniel Jones is going to be here. But if the Giants get a quarterback, then Daniel Jones is extremely expensive QB2 at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we can't keep Tyrod Taylor, right? So when you look at Tommy DeVito, you go, hey, he could be that QB3 for sure. But if they intend to move on from Tyrod, hey, he could be a QB2. Win us a couple games with Daniel Jones, because Daniel Jones unfortunately proves that he cannot be healthy, at least in only one season in his 5-year career here. So at least you got somebody that could come in and win you a couple games if Daniel Jones does go down, or whatever the case is. You know what I mean? But let's look at it in this totality, right? We say Tommy DeVito gave us a little bit of a spark, etc. We just seem to own the Commanders at some point. But I want to quote something that Big Dash said, and I'm going to move this topic a little different here. Big Dash on Twitter, if you hear Big Dash in the chat, man, that's what's up. I'm going to give you your credit right now. But he said the fact that we can't differentiate quarterback play from the three of them, we have a concern at quarterback. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah, we could beat the Commanders. Daniel Jones beat them. Tyrod Taylor beat them. And now Tommy DeVito beat the Commanders. That's the first.
Everyone does that.
I got a drink for that. Tommy DeVito, right?
I'll drink with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Group.
Cheers.
Every time we say Danny DeVito, we all got to drink. Yes.
I like that. And you're at home. He said Danny DeVito, so drink.
Yes, you got to say it. Now drink there. But we look at Tommy DeVito, man, yeah, they beat the Commanders, but what else can he do? And I want to look at the next game and the next game after that to see, because we can't, we're the punch, we got the Commanders freaking all on the ropes. There's no problem. Right. You know what I mean? But let's see what he can do as far as other games. And I think next time we have the Patriots coming into town, if he can, not to say light up the joint, because I don't think he lit up the joint at all. I think he played very well, but I want to see what else can he do. If he can do this a second time, then we're going to have to start to be like,
yeah.
Is it the line or is it the quarterback play? So as much as I'm very happy for this victory, I want to see what else before I can start saying, hey, let's start do this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? But shout out to Tommy, man. You did extremely well. You kept the fans engaged. That's something that we haven't seen in a very long time. We thought it was a lost season for sure. And just happy, man, that you know, we got a victory. But I want to shout this out here for you guys, or say this real quick. Tyrod Taylor is due to come back. All right, guys, he's coming off from IR, right? Yeah. So we're kind of a little bit in a pickle here. And I want to throw this question out, and I'm going to start with you, Mr. Glass half full. If Tommy DeVito comes in the Patriots game and plays the same game that he played for Washington, what do you do with Tyrod Taylor? Do we keep Tommy in, or we throw in Tyrod?
Let's just say this game is for a 2-8 and a 3-8 team going at each other. This is a sneaky, low-key game with a lot of, like, juice around it, in that, hey, is Danny DeVito versus this is Danny DeVito versus Bill Belichick.
Drink.
Did I see
Danny DeVito? Cheers. Said Danny DeVito. Cheers, brother. Cheers. Drink.
I'm gonna need another beer at this rate.
Yeah, seriously.
Let's go.
This is a sneaky, low-key good game because there's a draft pick involved. Like, we're all gunning for that top 3 draft pick, right? That's the larger thing at stake here. Then it's Tommy DeVito versus Bill Belichick, who makes rookies. He eats their lunch and their dinner. He just eats these rookie QBs alive. So he's going to take away whatever Tommy wants to do best. And we're going to find out, can you now beat Bill Belichick? And that's a good defense in New England. New England stinks because of their quarterback situation, but that's a good defense. I'm very interested. But for me, if he wins this game and he shows just a decent game or more, I'm riding out with Tommy. Because what are you going to gain with Tyrod at this point? Like, we know who he is. He's a very good, capable backup. We know that. Let's see what we have in Tommy. Let's see where he can take us, and let's see if he's a part of our future. Tyrod isn't. Let's see if Tommy can be. That's my thoughts on it, man.
I don't want to brag, but I said this a week early, right? Because I said this before he had this game. I said, what is the point of bringing Tyrod back into the fold, who's not part of the long-term plan, where you have DeVito, this no risk, like rookie, in a season that's lost. All he had to do was show something to justify keeping him out there, and all he did was throw 3 touchdowns. So ask Slayton or Barkley if they want him out there. Of course they fucking do, right? Like Tyrod, and you brought up the cost. It's a no-brainer. And in terms of Tyrod being banged up and not available, I liked what I saw from DeVito. He got dusted up 9 times. That dude stood up every single time like nothing happened. So he could take a hit. He had some fun out there. He had some celebration, like doing this after throwing a touchdown. Like that is, listen, you don't need that to be a great quarterback. But damn, it's fun when your quarterback shows he's having fun out there, right? Like something for look how many, like all fans know, like he's not necessarily the long-term franchise quarterback. Not necessarily, like he's not, right? He's not that dude. No, but it gave you something fun to hang on to in the meantime, right? Like I just like that from a quarterback to have that. So I'm a big fan of, as long as he keeps playing competitive and he's getting receivers involved, and I think his pocket presence will improve every week. But this is a test. Like I know this team is not good, but this is a Belichick defense, and he has an unbelievable record against rookie quarterbacks. He tends to make their life a living hell. So he's going to confuse the shit out of him. He's going to come after him. But I don't think the Patriots offense can score any points. They haven't even named their starter. Mac Jones has been a disaster. He's another Zach Wilson over there. Like it's been an absolute disaster. Joe Judge, like, should not be allowed to be on any side.
Everything he touches, every quarterback he touches,
Jones. If your last name is Jones, just retire because he's going to ruin you. He's going to absolutely ruin you.
So I want to read the over under for this game. 33 and a half.
I thought you were saying 13. I thought you were saying 13. So they're predicting like a 17-13 kind of game, like a 17.
If that. Yeah, it's going to get. I'm buying the under still on that.
I might take the under too. Should we catch up on super chats real quick and get back?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
We have one from we were talking some Thanksgiving goodness. Thank you, Flex Lopez.
Flex Lopez, appreciate you, brother.
Cooked ham and slices of pineapple. I've never seen those at a Thanksgiving dinner.
I like it. Jordan Ramsay style.
Some people, like my wife's family, does like lasagna and meatballs, and she's not even Italian.
That's interesting.
So you guys never seen a ham with the pineapples, and they throw little cherries in there too sometimes.
Yes, I see.
They glaze it up, and it's really. So that's probably what he's talking about. Right there.
That sounds fantastic. I'm not knocking it, but
and he the rice and beans. Hold on, Arrojo Gantules, Lopez. Arrojo Gantules. What we talking here with the rice and beans? What we talking? The pigeon peas. What we talking?
And in the draft, he would like Caleb, as we all would. Unfortunately, we're not going to be there for him, but we would all love him. That would be great.
But shout out to Speed. Got me opening my eyes to a lot of quarterbacks. So if he isn't there, yes, he's the top prospect, but there's some other prospects out there that's great for this system as well. So definitely do your homework. But if Caleb's not there, then I get it.
Why don't you tell people who your guy is so that they remember?
Well, I mean, did my you're talking about my dark horse guy? Yeah, my dark horse. He's my guy is Jake May because he's a Tar Heel, but.
No, that's
Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels.
We're not going to have a top 2 pick. So
no.
You're looking at Jaden Daniels or trading the farm.
Jaden Daniels is there. He's got great run ability. He could throw the ball, man. The guy's a problem. I would not hate that pick one bit. Preferably if we're in like we trade back a little bit, you get him. But if you like him at 5, you take him at 5.
Well,
you don't wait.
I'm assuming the Giants are going to be 5 to 7.
Yes,
I'm just assuming that. I just think that the defense is playing again. And granted, this is kind of the softer part of the schedule we talked about. So I think they're going to win a couple games. Another question from our guy Chris. Always with the left field. What Marvel character would you have a one-night stand with if you could?
Chris,
what Giants player, past or present? I'll go first real quick because it's the first guy that came to mind, and it's also his birthday. Shout out Michael Strahan. Happy birthday. I think Strahan would be a phenomenal guest because it wouldn't be awkward. There'd be no, hey, so what was it like playing for the Giants? The guy would just be all personality. He would bring the fun. He would bring the pizzazz. And he'd probably bring a side dish if I know him like that.
It was side dish too. For
Shout out Strahan. Who do you guys got?
I agree. Speak you first, man.
Yeah. Okay. For me, I would have to go. This is a tough one. Shit. I gotta think about this.
You know what? I'll go. I'll go. So you know what? For me, man, is Victor Cruz. I would love that Victor Cruz on the show. Shout out Victor Cruz, man. I've been trying to get.
Oh,
please. That's my number. That's my number one. It's my number
one. But we're gonna try to get. Let me say this. Let me say this first. Let me not say. Hold on.
You promised me, Eli. You promised me.
It's gonna come through. It's gonna come through. I promise. I promise it's gonna come through. But Victor Cruz definitely, man, be on the show. Why? Because so many back history and etc. for his rookie season. There's a nice story I like to tell him, man. And what a giant, man. Like the guy came from, it's kind of like Tommy DeVito, right? The guy's from New Jersey, undrafted free agent, right? And he comes in and he lights the league up a little bit on a couple games and then goes from there. So Victor Cruz definitely be one of my favorite choices to kind of.
I had this in my head. But you know, I'm a drinker and I'm a partier.
What?
So, I'm bringing
Drinkathon. Watch out!
I'm bringing Jeremy Shockey, man. Jeremy Shockey would be a fun time at the party. He would get down, and he's my boy. So
I probably have to kick him out.
He'd spice out. Yeah, he spiced up Thanksgiving. We'd all talk about that for years. Remember that Jerry Shockey when he started throwing shit all over the house?
Remember when he flipped my grandma's table upside down?
Shout out Jeremy Shockey. I would love him, man. We gotta get a hold of Jeremy Shockey, man. I haven't seen him in a while. We definitely gotta get a hold of him. That's a good one.
Hey Chris, that was Chris K. Thank you for the super chat. That was a good question. That was my favorite question of yours so far.
It was
topical. It was good. Hit the chat. Is there any giant that we're missing that would be a phenomenal guest? Eli seems like an obvious one. You know, he'd be fun. Eli Manning. Yeah. I'd love to have you two at Thanksgiving.
He's a good bring home to your fam kind of guy, right? Like he's a wholesome Southern, very respectable guy. Have good conversations, you know.
Now, but would you get fun, Eli, or would you get like in front
give
of
him a couple drinks, and I think you could get.
You know what? I hope we get the funny Eli. You know what? The guests that we have on here, right? We go, we'll see how they react. We'll see, because we see them so buttoned up on TV. You had Kay Adams drunk on our show, for goodness sake. A nice little buzz going on, right? And then we have a bunch of other people. Who else we had on here? We was like, oh man, we'll keep that later.
Yeah. We had some thoughts on somebody.
We're live. We're live. Stop. Hold up.
Shoot us a DM if you want to know.
We'll take guesses. You know what I mean? We'll take guesses. But yeah, for sure, there's a couple people, man, that got real comfortable for us. So hopefully, I think Eli do the same thing, man. Eli jump on here, have a couple drinks, have a good time with us. I think it'd be pretty dope, man. It'll be fire. You know what I mean?
I
hope so.
You guys watch him, like if it's not the Giants, I always watch the Manning broadcast.
Yeah. Right.
But the whole like magic of the show is Eli breaking Peyton's balls. It's like him like constantly like throwing shots at the older brother. Like that is the magic of the show. And making fun of him. But I don't know what it is about that show. Like I've said joking before, they need to hire Authentic to do audio for that show or something. It's like they can never get it right. Like it's always like they're always off time, and it's like how do you not figure that if ESPN can't get it right with a live
company, right?
Then why would we ever expect to have perfect audio or no glitching and shit like that?
I agree. I totally agree. And let me say this. Let me throw a name out too, man. How's Plaxico Burress? I think I would like to talk to Plaxico Burress. Here's why. Because I want to be like, dude, what happened that year? Like we were back to back.
That is not Thanksgiving dinner conversation.
Of course it is. Listen, let me tell you, because that's the perfect time. You take a bite of a drumstick, you go, so what happened that night, man? You just talk about it, and it's all at the table. I think it'll be freaking hilarious.
He brought a gun where?
Right.
Does he have a gun now?
Flex.
No way. That is not. That's crazy.
If that's the kind of Thanksgiving talk at your table, I don't know if I'm going to attend.
It's shocking. You know what it is? You know, at my dinner table, we all, like my family, we all crack jokes. We all have a good time. Yes. So that'll be one of the crack jokes. So hey, you had to bring it to the nightclub, huh?
Dude, you want it? I got. By the way, shout out former fan of the month, Chris Peace, with the Nick Gates submission, who would also be a fun one. But I'm going to say one that you wouldn't expect is Daniel Jones, because I'm going to drink this dude under the table and find a real personality in there. And I'm going to throw whiskey down his mouth until he starts acting like a human being. And I'm going to find a personality in there. I'm going to get him cursing.
I don't know.
I'm going to get him cracking jokes. He'll probably just fall asleep. He's going to curl up in the fetal position and say night-night and throw mashed potatoes in.
Night-night.
I don't know. I don't know about Daniel, man.
Night.
Yo, shout out to the New York Revival News, guys. If you haven't checked it out,
that was fun.
Shout out.
I think that was fun. So, guys, let's address the elephant in the room, because a lot of fans are actually split on this here, man. To tank or not to tank. And I'm gonna start with El Jefe, man. A lot of fans want to tank, and a lot of fans is like, man, we don't tank. So let's get your opinion on it, man. To tank or not to tank, brother?
I don't think
It's gonna be.
I don't think it's possible for these guys to tank right now because you got a coach who's playing for his job or is coaching for his job and his reputation, and he can't like completely flop in year 2 because the New York media will let him have it. And if it gets loud enough, Mara makes dumb decisions if it gets loud enough, right? So like I want Dable to be here. So like it's a stupid thing because I need Dable to be here. But I know come draft time, I'm gonna be like, fuck, it would be nice if we had that.
Yeah.
That third or fourth pick. Like, but like I said in the video today, it's like punching yourself in the dick. No one should ever have to root against their team. It makes no sense. It's the most unnatural thing in the world. But the Giants need a quarterback. And so there is a scenario where the Giants fall to 7 and the quarterback they take right there is the one that works out the best, right? We have no idea of in some universe. I don't know. There's no way of knowing that. But I don't know. I hate watching the games because I did it a little bit on Sunday and it sucked. It sucked rooting for
it's a shitty feeling.
I was rooting, I'll be honest. I was like kind of like happy if the Giants were going to lose that game, and I fucking hated every second of it. So I hate tanking. I hate the idea of it. I think it only works like if there's a game or two left. Like remember when the Eagles benched Jalen Hurts his rookie year in that last game, which was like he was healthy, and they just clearly fucking sat him to lose that game. Like that was some bullshit. But like, look at the Eagles now. No one cares. No one brings it up. It doesn't matter. So like, but that was with a game or two left. Not, I mean, we've been talking tank for a month, and it's just you can't do it this early. Guys have too many incentives. Their players are playing for their livelihood, so they're not going to tank. The coaches aren't. So like, where is this tank idea coming from? So I don't think it's real. It's not a thing right now.
Totally agree, Spee.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard, man, because you talk about the last time we were in this position, we were trying to tank for Chase Young, right? And look how that's worked out. We got Andrew Thomas, who's a Giant for the next 5+ years, and Chase Young is out of Washington right now. So, like, it's not a foolproof plan that whatever tank process you got going on is going to work. Look at the Sixers. Like you talk about basketball, different sport, but they had their process, their tank process, and it ended up giving them no championships, and barely, I don't even know, did they get a finals appearance? Not even a finals appearance. Like, so it's not a foolproof plan. Like you said, the coaches and the players are not tanking. They're never going to tank. They needed to. We weren't going 2-15. This team isn't that bad. Like we're not like worst roster in the league bad. We were going to get a W somewhere. The amount of chaos and anger and tears on Twitter after the win is just like it's so like it's childish. I gotta be honest with you, man. It's childish. Like oh, I didn't get my loss. Like you're crying about it. Like, dude, this team needs a couple wins. Like you said, Jeff. Like for the morale of the team, for what you're building in a building and the culture that you're trying to build, you need a couple wins here and there. And 4 wins is still going to get you a top 5 pick. It might even get you a top 3 pick. So like we could have another win in here, and it's good for the vibes. It's good for Dable. Dable and Kafka were in their bag, man. Like they coached up Tommy DeVito to look like a pretty damn good quarterback
in a couple of weeks too.
Yeah.
For me, that's like another feather in the cap. It's like, all right, I need to see that kind of stuff to know they are still those guys. Like, and then it's like, imagine what they could do with a actual like real talented quarterback
with a real prospect.
I have more faith now after that last week than I did before. So you need to see things like that. You need to see Thibodeau getting the 10.5 sacks. You need to see good shit like that happen to know that we're going in the right direction on several aspects of this. And then, the rest is falling to shit. But be happy for a little bit. Be happy for the guys. And we're not, like I said, we're not going to go 2-15. There's going to be winning here. We don't know how the Bears are going to shake out. We don't know how the Carolinas are going to shake out. I believe in draft karma. Don't tank. Let the chips fall where they may. And you could trade up. Someone might fall to you. I don't know what's going to happen, but don't tank. Don't try to be that guy. It comes around, man. It comes around.
Let me say this, man. We don't fold. We don't tank. We fight until the end, right? I would like to know, man, some of these people, man, shout out to y'all that want to tank, man. I like to see what y'all do at y'all jobs. Y'all the co-workers that'll make our jobs harder for the hard-working guy, right? You just want to just do things half-ass. Guys, it's not how it goes, man. It's not how competitive sports go. We don't tank, man. We don't do none of that. You got to keep fighting to the end. And what's impressive is that, when we heard the Xavier McKinney's and et cetera about the locker room and a little bit of rumors was trying to leak out, especially with the Pat Leonard, right? It shows you that these guys are still fighting for their head coach. They're still fighting and they want to win games for him. And that's the type of guy you want to keep around. So I definitely love Brian Daboll. I love the way he has that culture. I love the way he's trying to coach up this team right now. Yes, we understand as Washington. We have their number. We get it. But a win is a win, guys. And we got to take them. And they come very far and few, especially with the Giants nowadays, right? So we're going to take them. We're going to try to build and run with it. And the fact that Daboll got these guys ready, man, that's the coach you want, especially like you said, Speed. We get another quarterback in here that is actually of talent. You get what I'm saying? That's a little bit better, than what we have now. Now, let me tell you this, guys. Would you like a Honda or a Ferrari? You get what I'm saying? Like I'm going to be honest. I'm going to take the Ferrari and not trying to say Daniel Jones is the Honda, but let's be honest here. If we're looking at something and just trying to compare the two, there's some Ferraris out there in this draft. You get what I'm saying?
But so you would let your daughter drive a Honda, right?
For safety reasons, right?
Yes,
absolutely.
He's a great person. Yes,
and that's the safe bet. And he's a giant through and through. He is a safe bet, but he's not a freaking Ferrari, and we need a Ferrari right now. You get what I'm saying? We need it.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, man, shout out to the. There's no tanking here. I don't see why everybody's upset that we didn't lose. To be upset, just be happy with the win, man. I remember somebody told me, it was like, dude, who cares, man? We won. Like, be happy with the freaking win, man. I don't care how we pick. It's their job in the front office that get paid a lot of money to do this, by the way, to get these picks right. So if they're studying these players and et cetera, no matter what number that they're in, they need to get it right. And if they are in a position to try to move up and whatever the case is, then sell a farm, right? We did it for Eli Manning. We gave away 2 first-round picks and I think a second that year. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think we gave him the first round that year, the second round that year, and then the future first rounder that year. You know what I mean? So you go and get your guy by any means necessary. The Giants have the power to do it. You know what I mean? So go get it done, man. But there's no tanking, period.
Well,
no tanking here.
I mean, here's the thing too. Like, how does one go about tanking? Like, what would that look like? Like, just people stop trying on the field? Like, there's nobody that does it naturally. There's no like. It only happens naturally. It happens via injuries or just bad roster, like a bad roster. And our roster's not bad enough. And I don't think I think like if we lost Tommy DeVito and Tyrod, and then like that would explain itself. Like if we lost, if Andrew Thomas doesn't play, maybe that helps the tank, But like you can't tank. It's not possible. It just happens naturally. Like you have a hard schedule. You have a lot of injuries. You have a bad coach, which we don't have. So I don't know how one envision. Like we all want these top quarterbacks, but if we get them, we get them. If we don't, we don't. It's just like I don't get getting angry about wins. Like it is what it is. Like right.
Not just that. Like
in it for wins, right?
At the end of the day, this is completely out of our control. Not only about the Giants winning games, but about like where they end up in the draft, who they pick, what their process is. It's all out of our control.
Yes.
So like as a fan, I'm putting my flag down, I want to lose every single game. Whether you choose that or not, it doesn't impact the outcome of the game at all. Yeah. It really it doesn't change anything. Right. So I was torn because I want a quarterback. Like I am firmly with that. Like Giants, I want them to take a first round quarterback. Yeah, but that doesn't change the fact that you want to see things from your team because on top of Giants were already rated the worst stadium in the league. But if you are appearing to be a complete fucking dumpster fire, that matters about players who have a choice of where they want to go too. Mm-hmm. So you don't want to be the fucking Cleveland Browns of the last 20 years, right? Where players don't want to go there.
And we are them right now. We were them. We're just about them.
Yeah, but like I don't know. I think it's a little too much with the the fans who are celebrating that win. You're the problem. You're the loser.
Right. Come on.
That's where you lose me because none of it matters. It doesn't matter what fans want.
Those are the same kind of people that were yelling about being fan police. Like you're fan policing now by saying the people can't be happy over a win. Like let us fan the way we want to fan. Like we all want the quarterback, but if you're happy about the win, be happy. If you want to see your team fight, good for you. If you want to root for losses, good on you, man. Like I'm not going to tell you not to root for losses, but like don't get pissed at one side or the other.
If you want to see it as a win-win, right? If the Giants put a couple wins together, yes, it hurts their draft position, but it shows you how good Dable is if he's stringing wins together with fucking Tommy DeVito. Not only that, but he's keeping the locker room together, and that's a good sign for when the talent gets better, the quarterback gets better, and all of that. Or if it falls apart, you get a higher draft pick. So if you want to look at it as a win-win,
right,
then do that. I mean, that's an option too. And I do want to say, shout out our guy Monty, who's in the chat, and a guy that we like and respect a lot. One of our day ones, right? He's got a podcast that you're going to want to stay in tune with. He's a Giant pod because they're going to be all over college prospects, and as we get closer and closer to the draft, anybody you want to profile on or you want to learn more about, they're going to have you covered, and we'll have them on, I'm sure, as we get closer to the draft. So that's a good follow for any Giants fan or a college football fan, or if you're like me and you don't watch that much college football, but you love to learn while you're going at it, they're good for that too. So shout out to those guys.
And it's the time of the season because you got all these quarterbacks that are going to be in bowl games, and hopefully they all play. I don't know if some are and some aren't, but you'll get a good look at these guys over the next 2-3 weeks, and that's like get your look at Drake May, get your look at Caleb. Get your look at Jaden. I urge people to watch LSU games because Jaden Daniels is so much fun to watch. Bo Nix, that's your guy. Oregon.
Oh yeah.
There's JJ McCarthy. At some point, and that's another guy. They haven't let him throw the ball yet. But at some point, if they go to the playoffs, and he's gonna have to throw the ball. So let's see what he looks like when he throws the ball. There's these guys in that second tier that we might not get the Drake Mays and Caleb's. But hey, I'll take a nice Audi. I'll take an Audi too. Like I'm not going to be pissed off about taking an Audi, right? And again, they're having this conversation on the radio. It's like, all right, if Patrick Mahomes went to the Jets, would he still be Patrick Mahomes? Point being is like, it's about fit too. If Jaden Daniels comes to Brian Dable, we might be able to turn him into the best quarterback in this draft. And like, if Caleb Williams goes to a bad team, he might not be it might not work because he's not. It's about situation too.
Oh yeah,
about roster, team, coach. So just because we get the second tier guys, I mean, we might not have the best quarterback in the draft. So keep your eyes open.
Yeah, like Spiro, you probably know better than me about like maybe who's on the Houston Texans staff. But I have been banging the table about CJ Stroud. I think a little bit earlier. Yeah. Like after 3 or 4 weeks, I was like, this kid has got something. Like there's just something different about watching him play. He's way too decisive for a rookie in his first handful of games. There's just something about him. And now the whole country is like, this kid's fucking special. Like this is big. And he's putting up stupid numbers. He throws 3 picks. It doesn't matter. Like he just shakes it off and keeps going. So he's I don't know, man. I love watching him play. But do you think that is a matter of him being truly special or being in the right situation?
I think it's more him than anything. He's just a very, very fucking good player. Was at Ohio State. He got miscasted because of where he plays. And I hate if I gotta urge this on anybody, don't worry about the helmet. Look at the player, not the helmet. You can't be like, oh, USC quarterbacks, they all stink. Ohio State quarterbacks, they all stink. Like, no. Look at the player and judge on the player himself. And I saw good things there. CJ Stroud, man. I was, and he's in a situation where he's making a lot happen with not a ton around him. There's no offensive genius behind. This is a player who's taken the franchise by the balls, and he's just like he's doing it, man. He's doing it on his own.
It just shows you what a special quarterback can do for a franchise. Like imagine being a Houston Texans fan, knowing that you just have this kid who's still in his first 12 games as a rookie, knowing that you probably have a decade of this fun. Like I'm telling you, the quarterback, and I don't think people will truly move off of Daniel Jones until you see something like that in the Giants. But I promise you, when you see it, you will be like, oh, that's a quarterback. Like that's a quarterback right there. And like we don't have it. We don't have it yet. I promise you'll know it when you see it.
Speaking of CJ Stroud, monster game on the schedule for NFL, Houston versus Jacksonville. you got two quarterbacks there, Trevor Lawrence, CJ Stroud, the same division, exciting Texas team. It's going to be a fun one. Tune into that if you guys can. It's going to be a fun watching two young quarterbacks go at it, and they're going to be going at it for a while.
Yeah. Pay attention to CJ Stroud. Just watch how he plays, and just tell yourself if you would want to have something like that in a Giants uniform.
Special player, definitely for sure. And before we get out of here, guys, I just want to say this, man, because there's a lot of things as well. Kayvon Thibodeau, man, a lot of people in the beginning were like, hey, Kayvon, man, he's a bust. He can't produce sacks. And now that he's producing some sort of sacks, they're saying it's against these garbage teams. So, El Jefe, what is your thoughts, man? Kayvon Thibodeau, how you feeling about him, man? Because he's definitely came around. 10.5 sacks, nothing to freaking sneeze at.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just laughing at some of the radio hosts that were having a field day on this guy because we never budged. I mean, I saw a guy like from the beginning, his personality, his work ethic. We went to camp. We saw him in person. The guy's all business. He does not fuck around. So like, I don't know, everything about him screams superstar, and it's just finally coming together for him. And to say like with all the good Ravens defenses in the past, for him to be the first double-digit sack guy in a wink defense. With 5 more games to go, whatever it is. Like, that's really, really fucking impressive. And he's doing it with his own motor, his own skills. And I love the guy. I'm glad he's in a Giant uniform. He should never be doubted again. That's one draft pick you can put to bed as, okay, you did the right thing. Like, we're good.
Totally agree, Spee.
Yeah, no, look, seeing the sack leader list and seeing Kayvon, our top 5 pick, being on that list, just like, it warms my heart, man. It warms my heart. It's like, we finally got one right again, and he's on the defensive side of the ball. We all wanted him to be this guy, and he's turning out to be that guy. The next step is, and again, there's the shots that people are still taking. He owns Leno from the Commanders. He's doing against the Jets. Like the next step is to do it on against the tough teams. I get that, but man, 10.5 sacks is 10.5 sacks. I don't care. And he's going to end up close to 15 when it's all said and done. You can't tell these pass rushers. That's what they do. They load up on sometimes bad competition, and he's doing that. But like, he's being a game breaker. He's doing it against a run. He's doing it against a pass. He's doing everything we could have wanted. He's making game breaking plays, going for strip sacks. Almost 9 times out of 10, he has that interception in the first Washington game. Probably takes it to the house. He's doing it all. How can you complain? How can you complain about this guy? We got number 5, and he's it, man. He's it.
And let me say this too, right? It's supposed to be more difficult to get sacks on a good team, right? But how you know you're a good player is that you whoop on the ones you're supposed to whoop on.
Yes,
that's how you know you're the superior player. So guys, relax. He's supposed to get these type of numbers. It'll be a huge concern if he didn't get a sack at all during Washington or one of these crappy teams that was supposed to get it on. It'll be a concern then. But right now, guys, the fact that he's getting them on these teams that we're supposed to get them on, round of applause for. Round of applause for Kayvon Thibodeau. You get what I'm saying? But the fact that can he win a couple of those those possessions where he's playing a good team? Sure, and he'll get there without a doubt. But right now, we shouldn't doubt him anymore, man. There should be no doubt in our minds at all. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to do, especially against lesser talent. Give him his credit, man. He's not no bust. I'm just happy we got it right, like you said.
And you know what helps? Azeez Ojulari being on the other side, man. It helps to have somebody taking the pressure off of you on the other side, and you're seeing it opening up for KT. If they could just consistently get a guy to stay on that side and be that other guy,
I think we will.
I think that's a big thing for the offseason, getting that other edge. If you get Azeez and another guy, 2 consistent guys along with KT, that's a problem. That's going to be a problem for offenses. So that's a hole that we need to fill, and we'll see
no matter going back to the draft, no matter where our draft pick is, you need to hit, right? And whether it's second or third round, and you're talking about getting an edge rusher that pops off, like that changes your whole franchise when you hit on draft picks like that. You get an edge rusher opposite Thibodeau to bring the heat on that level, it changes your whole team. I never really get the narrative always doing it against this guy or this team. Any guy who's put together a big sack season did it. He ate against some bad teams. So like I don't buy that shit at all because Thibodeau is lining up against the professional football player in front of him. It's not up to him. What is he supposed to take it easy because the guy's a lesser talent? Like exactly, you give him shit. Like I said, you give him shit because he did what he should do as a top 5 pick. Like no, he's doing his job. What are you talking about?
And then keep the same energy for the other guys that also feast on. Not everybody goes against all pros every game. Like you feast on bad competition. That's where you stack up your big numbers, and
you're that much better.
Every team does it. Yeah, every team does it. Every player does it. So
totally agree. And guys, of course, we are at the tail end of this show. Do me a favor, guys. Do me a favor in the chat. All right. Hit that. Oh, wait, hold up. Happy Thanksgiving. Oh, God, I appreciate you, brother.
I wanted to get that in there. That's 2 from Chris K. That's 2 from Chris K. 2 times.
Appreciate you, brother,
buddy.
man. Happy Thanksgiving. And eat a lot, man. Eat a lot because I know I'm going to start cooking tomorrow. Stuff like that. But, guys, I tell you this, man. What a show. Thank you, guys. Do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up. Exit out the chat. Hit that X button real quick. Hit that thumbs up real fast before you guys get up out of here. Then come back into the chat, man. And we do appreciate you. And don't forget, guys, we got a nice little Black Friday sale going on for the New York Revival, man. You cop some merch, man. You get like a little 10% off. You get what I'm saying? We'll help you out. Help us out. We help you out. You know what I mean? So holiday seasons are coming up, man. Get your Revival merch there. A little 10% off. We got it for you guys, man. So please support small businesses, support us, and hopefully we're making this content that's great for you guys, man. There's some more guests coming in. Holy shoot!
We forgot Chris. How dare we forget?
How dare we?
Shame on us, Chris. You are the best, Mr. Peace. Regardless of where the Giants are picking, if they aren't picking top 2, then they need to trade up and go get. Yes, listen, it takes two to tango in that scenario. We hope that they can trade up. We hope that someone's willing to trade
make
back.
them an offer they can't refuse, man.
Facts.
We got Paisan here. We got Paisan.
You
make them an offer they can't refuse.
Give him the Godfather. Give him the Godfather. Yes, and listen, that's what I'm saying. To get all worked up over a week 10 win when there's so much. There's 5 more weeks left to go. So much yet to be determined. If Justin Fields balls out, does he stay with Chicago? There's so much. If Kyler Murray balls out, does he stay with Arizona? Yeah, there's too many lottery balls just jumbling around to get worked up.
Yeah, you're telling me Arizona won't be tempted to take Marvin Harrison for Kyler Murray?
Are you kidding me? It's just thoughts.
I'm telling you,
thoughts.
That's crazy. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's
if
not
he
get
gets
too
that
worked
weapon.
up.
Anyway, I'm not.
No. I'm saying let's not get too worked up for one or two wins here.
Let it play out. Let it play out.
Let it play out.
Let's have fun with it. Either way, have fun with it. That's the point of being.
Let's have fun, people. Let's make losses fun. I thought I gotta be honest. I thought it was gonna be a perfect. I was in my mind. I was like, this is gonna be a make fun's loss. Make losses fun.
He's tipsy. He is drunk. Spiro is drunk right now. He is drunk. All right, you ever seen him drunk?
Make fun's losses again.
Make losses fun's again.
Guys, the next time we go out,
that's what was running
through my mind. I think we need to get the people going. Next time we go out, I think we need to get the people. You got to see drunk Spiro. It's amazing.
Yo, he's a real treat. He really is.
He is. It's amazing.
Let's go, people.
But guys, happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving. Please, man, take that moment, man. Unplug, watch some football. Don't be on social media. Spend time with your family, man. That's what these days are for. We only get them once a year, so enjoy every second of it. And man, on behalf of my brothers here, man, you guys know who this is, and that's Mr. Glass Half Full of Nets. Spee if you nasty now. I'm gonna look up at the camera. And my brother El Jefe, aka White Jersey, aka Blue Jersey, aka Damon Daniel, and it's your boy Eli Rax, aka Vibes. We see you guys on the next one. Shout out to you, the Revivalists. Happy holidays, peace and blessings.
We love you. Friday, get the sale on that merch.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Let's go.
Buy that merch.